Some motorcycles never needed to shout. They spoke softly, through rhythm, simplicity, and soul. In a world of noise and technology, one single-cylinder engine taught riders the art of connection. One machine captured the essence of riding itself. No electronics, no ego, just mechanical honesty. That motorcycle was the Yamaha SR500. And now, nearly half a century later, the legend returns, reimagined for a new generation, yet still carrying the same heartbeat that started it all. This is the 2026 Yamaha SR500, a motorcycle that celebrates purity, craftsmanship, and timeless style. Today, on Acer Rider, we're diving deep into the rebirth of one of Yamaha's most beloved icons, exploring how the SR500's minimalist spirit has survived the modern age, and why it still matters today. Stay till the very end, because we've got a special reveal, something that honors the original in a way no one saw coming. The story of the SR500 begins in the late 1970s, a time when motorcycles were still built by hand, and the bond between rider and machine was sacred. In 1978, Yamaha introduced the SR500 as a street-legal evolution of the off-road XT500. Shared the same air-cooled single-cylinder engine, a 499cc four-stroke thumper that produced a modest 32 horsepower, but a mountain of character. The SR wasn't about power, it was about purity. With its steel frame, spoked wheels, and single-round headlight, it embodied the perfect blend of simplicity and style. It was a bike that made you part of the machine, not just a passenger holding a throttle. For over 2 decades, the SR500 and its smaller sibling, the SR400, gathered a cult following, from café racers in London to street thumpers in Tokyo. When production ended, fans didn't let it die. They kept restoring, rebuilding, and riding, keeping its pulse alive across generations. And now, in 2026, Yamaha finally answers the call. The SR500 is back, rebuilt from the frame up, but carrying the same single-cylinder soul that started it all: design simplicity. Reborn at first glance, the 2026 Yamaha SR500 looks like a time traveler from 1978. That's intentional. Every line, every proportion, every chrome accent whispers nostalgia, but everything underneath is new. The tank retains that iconic teardrop shape, hand-brushed aluminum with pinstripe detailing that recalls the original SR. The seat is narrow and flat, upholstered in classic brown leather with visible stitching. The round LED headlight glows warm and golden, a modern lens with an old soul. The instrument cluster features 2 analog dials, speedometer and tachometer, separated by a tiny digital window showing only essentials, like trip and fuel range. No TFT, no distractions, just the essentials, just the ride. From the steel fenders to the spoked 18-inch wheels, the 2026 SR500 is proof that minimalism can still feel like luxury. Engine the single that started it all, the beating heart of the new SR500 remains true to its heritage. A single-cylinder, air-cooled thumper that defines simplicity. But in 2026, Yamaha's engineers have given it a respectful evolution. The new engine is a 499cc SOHC single, now equipped with fuel injection, liquid-assisted air cooling, and Yamaha Smart Ignition, YSI, for smoother throttle response. It produces 35 horsepower and 44 Nm of torque, delivered with that same unmistakable single-cylinder rhythm. Linear, torquey, and alive. The magic of the SR was never its top speed. It was the feel, the mechanical thud at idle, the way it pulsed through your gloves, the way every gear change felt like a conversation. The 2026 SR500 keeps that soul intact. Even the Kickstarter remains, complete with Yamaha's signature decompression lever. Of course, there's an electric starter for convenience, but purists can still start it the old way, feeling every heartbeat as the piston comes alive beneath their boot. And that exhaust. It's a modern stainless steel system tuned to echo the deep thump-thump-thump of the original. Mellow at idle, fierce at revs. It's not loud, its right frame and handling, crafted for the road. The new double cradle steel frame pays homage to the classic design, but with improved rigidity and geometry. At 152 kilograms dry, it's light, agile, and perfectly balanced for everyday riding. Suspension duties are handled by KYB 37mm telescopic forks up front and twin adjustable shocks at the rear. Simple, effective, and reliable. The wheelbase remains short at 1400 millimeters, making the SR effortless to flick through corners. And surprisingly, stable at highway speeds, brakes have received a subtle upgrade. A 298mm front disc with a twin-piston caliper and a 245mm rear disc, both supported by lightweight ABS. But Yamaha kept the feedback raw, the lever feel, the clutch weight, the shifting action. Everything is deliberately analog. You feel the mechanics at work, you hear the engine breathing, you become part of the rhythm. The ride, where machine meets soul, turn the key, prime the fuel, and press the starter. The SR500 wakes with a deep, slow heartbeat, that signature single-cylinder rumble that you can feel in your chest. The throttle is immediate, honest. There's no traction control, no ride modes, no layers of software between you and the road. Just your right hand and 499 cc of mechanical truth. At city speeds, it's composed and graceful. On open roads, it's eager and alive. Every pulse from the piston feels like a story being told, one that stretches across decades of motorcycling history. Lean into a corner, and it flows effortlessly. Open the throttle, and it rewards you with pure, tactile joy. This is what motorcycling was always meant to be. Not about speed, not about technology, but about connection. Modern details. The respectful update, though faithful to its roots, the 2026 SR500 does bring a few modern touches that blend seamlessly into its classic form. The lighting is full LED, but with warm color tones. The bike includes USB-C charging, Bluetooth for navigation prompts, and a simple eco indicator for fuel-conscious riders. Fuel capacity is 14 liters, enough for nearly 400 kilometers per tank, thanks to Yamaha's efficient injection system. Optional accessories include low clip-on bars, café-style rear sets, and a heritage racing seat, allowing each owner to shape the SR into their personal expression, just like riders did decades ago. The emotion, why it still matters. In a time when most motorcycles are chasing numbers, horsepower, electronics, top speed, the SR500 reminds us that less can be more. It's not a bike you buy to impress, it's a bike you buy to remember. It takes you back to when motorcycles were an extension of the rider, simple, honest, and beautiful in their restraint. Every part of this machine invites you to slow down, breathe, and rediscover the joy of the journey itself. The 2026 Yamaha SR500 is more than a motorcycle. It's a time capsule with a heartbeat. And now, the surprise we promised. To celebrate the return of the SR500, Acer Rider is teaming up with Yamaha for something special, the SR Heritage Ride. We'll take 3 machines, the 1978 SR500, the 2010 SR400 Final Edition, and the 2026 SR500 on a 500-kilometer journey through Japan's mountain roads, tracing the spirit of the SR from its birthplace to the present day. We'll test their handling, their endurance, and most importantly, their soul. And here's the best part. One lucky subscriber will win a limited edition SR Heritage watch, crafted from actual recycled SR engine aluminum, along with a collector's 110 SR500 model. So stay tuned. Subscribe and tell us in the comments, what does simplicity mean to you? Because here on Acer Rider, we believe the best rides don't happen at full throttle. They happen when machine and rider become one. This is the 2026 Yamaha SR500, the legend reborn.